Leah McSweeney Show. Okay, welcome back to the Leah McSweeney Show. Today, Dave from the Dopey Podcast is my guest. So this is kind of like a collab.
It is.
Right?
I'm collabing. If you're collabing,
we're collabing.
I love collabing.
Yeah, we're
happy
collabing.
To be here.
I mean, your podcast, I love your podcast. I mean, it's, if you people don't know it, it is a podcast that is about addiction and drugs.
And dumb shit.
That's right. But it's done in a way where I mean, it's changed over the years. I know that, but there's an irreverence to it, which is great because like addiction is so fucking dark. How the hell do you deal with it like without using humor? Even though sometimes there's nothing funny about it, but there is. Like I was, AA meetings are like the only times where like people are like, I felt like killing myself, like 3 weeks ago, and everyone's like, ah, like everyone's like cracking up. It's like I shit myself. Like my bottom was like shitting myself in like the project stairwell, and everyone's like, oh, it's epic. How else do you like? It's like you need to. Yeah.
But it's like so many people don't talk about it like that. You know what I mean? They talk about it in this incredibly serious gratitude and fucking, the kind of like really churchy kind of thing.
Yeah.
And when we started it, we were just like, it was uncomfortable to talk about it like that.
Yeah.
And we needed something to do. But the real magic of you on Dopey, it was magical. It was a magical experience. And you guys,
so everyone listen to my episode and all of them if you haven't. But yeah, my episode.
Your episode was especially magical because Leah wrote this beautiful book. I'm sure you guys know her book. I read the book.
Yeah.
Why don't you like the book?
It's okay. I'm writing my second
But
one.
why didn't you like the book?
I don't know. I felt like it was too gratitude-y.
No, it was good. It was good.
Okay.
But in the book, Leah says she grew up in Chelsea. And I record most of our shows at my father's apartment in Chelsea. And I grew up in public housing in Chelsea in this place called Penn South. And Leah grew up there.
Yeah.
And no one grows up there.
I know.
So I was magical.
It was
You couldn't
crazy.
even believe it.
I couldn't believe it because I think I was promoting the book, and like I think the you had been talking to my PR people or something.
Yes.
And so, I didn't know. I just like knew I was going to a street. I'm like, oh, it's my old neighborhood. That's cool. But I didn't know I was going into Penn South building to do the podcast. I was like, what the actual fuck? And I didn't go fully into like growing up in the buildings and what the buildings were like, which we talked how they're, I think you used the word colloquial to describe them, which I don't even know what that means.
I think I don't know if I use that word. If I did, I don't think it's the right word.
Oh, really?
I don't think so.
I think you use that.
I use a lot of words that I'm kind of iffy about, like what they actually mean, but I know they sound
like,
good.
oh, he has a good vocab.
Yeah, I'm really smart. I use words that don't mean what I think they mean all the time. But Penn South was a magical place in Manhattan. It's just like old Jews and like middle-class Black people and middle-class Spanish people all crammed together, cops, firemen, teachers, whatever.
Totally.
And
Irish and Italians.
And Jews. Yeah.
And
Jews, the whole thing.
Yeah.
And the whole thing.
It's very diverse. The only thing, the commonality is the socioeconomic commonality, which is middle class. Right?
It's like Sesame Street. It's like Sesame Street in 1977 still.
Right.
You know,
I know.
I think it's the only one left that isn't Llamas or whatever that's public.
Right.
Like, because the one on the Lower East Side went private. Right. They voted at Penn South to never go private.
But wow.
Which means I don't get my dad's apartment, which is very sad.
Wait, what? Isn't there the law that you like get?
You
better move in there.
Right. If I move in and start caretaking.
You have to.
He's like, he wants my daughter to move in, and like,
how old is she?
She's 13. It's not good.
She can't move in there yet.
I got apartment in Penn South. My mom put me on the list when I was 11, and I got the place when I was 22, and I lost the place when I was 26 because of my heroin addiction.
Right, of course. So I moved in with my grandmother, right, when I was 18, and started caretaking. Okay, are you kidding me? I was like doing blow in the stairwell.
You were bad.
I was so bad. I mean, it was like really bad. We're going to be talking about drugs a lot on this episode. And then she moved out. She went to like a, facility, like hospital or whatever. Anyway, and they were trying to say that the date of like that she moved out was not her date of death, but the date that she actually moved to this hospital. So I was like 1 month off by being able to get the apartment.
Oh my God.
But honestly, I'm fine because there's a lot of weird memories in there. And I don't know if I would really, it's a weird place. Like I was telling Dave in the elevator up here, my healer, Monique, who will come on the show one day, she grew up in Penn South. And I had reached out to her during my complete nervous breakdown a year and a half ago, and was almost like, it was before I went to the mental hospital, but I was like trying to like heal myself at home, which I needed more help. But I called her like, oh, I was like, I made an appointment with her, and then I was like, I can't, like, you can't come. It's not possible. Don't even worry. You can't help me. And she pushed. She was like, no, I need to come see you. And I was like, okay, fine. And she's been helping me a lot, but she grew up in Penn South. And when she found out I was from Penn South, she's like, there's something in the fucking water. And it turns out my family knows her family.
It's very magical. It's very beautiful. But I need to know something. What does the healer do?
So
tell me everything.
It's very, I don't want to like speak for her too much, but when she came to see me, I was really I hadn't grieved my grandmother's death yet. And it was all hitting me a year later. And she's not only, I mean, she's like completely trained in acupuncture and like, a bunch of other things, but she also is kind of clairvoyant. Like, I don't even like calling her a healer because it's like, she's like, it's more than that.
She's next level healer.
But she's next level.
What is she doing though? When she comes over, like, what does she do?
She will sometimes, she does acupuncture, right?
Okay.
But I can feel it's a different acupuncture than I've ever had before. Because it's like I feel the chi like moving through my whole body. Like when she gets in there, I'm like, and then like, she'll read she'll read me. Like she can read me. Like she'll touch my feet and be like, da-da-da-da, and she starts flowing and saying all this shit. And I'm like, oh my God. And I'll like just, it's crazy because I've had these like breakthroughs with her, sometimes not even on like the bed. I'll be on my bed talking to her while she's setting up. And then I can be honest with her completely. Like I'll be lying to myself about something, and then she comes over and I'm just like, I'm lying. Like this is not like, this is how I actually feel.
So it's great.
It's great.
It's great. It's like,
yeah. Anyway, she's amazing. Let me know if you want her contact.
I think I might need her. I think I need the chi to start flowing.
You just celebrated how many years sober?
I celebrated 8 years in August, on August 13th.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah. How does it feel? People sometimes get weird around their anniversary.
It's more weird. I was talking with a friend of mine actually walking here. Like, I feel like I felt when I was a kid now.
Wow.
But I feel like the different, and always, I don't feel like, I feel like when I was using, that was different. Like, I feel like I got back to how I, like, kind of my eternal.
Right. Like your actual soul, like.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think that, like, I've been doing this 8 years, which is to some people not that long, but I know that when I got sober, I didn't expect to even make it 8 years. I didn't expect to make it 1 year.
Long ass time.
It's a little bit of time. I'm happy. I'm happy I did it. Like, I want to be an old stoner one day. Like I would like to be like 80
and smoking weed
on a rocking chair, taking bong hits, listening to the Allman Brothers.
Yeah.
That's what I would like.
Okay.
I don't know if it's going to happen.
Right.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's like one of those things that I can push
it's like you'll figure it out when you're like 75.
I don't want to be a 50-year-old heroin addict.
No.
I know that.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
No one wants to be that,
I know. I bet you, like, you wonder, I have this weird kind of idea about really wealthy people, that really wealthy people get to be heroin addicts. Like, that's.
I know what you mean. Yeah, I know what you mean. Because it's like they like can like test the shit, and they can like, pay for the best food to eat, like, and like people to take care of them or whatever. But rich people die all the time of overdoses.
And their tolerance gets so bad. And more than that, the most important factor is they're miserable. Like, we are miserable if we're using. Like, that's the only thing.
So miserable. Even if it's like I've been writing again, and I'm writing my second book, and I'm writing about a specific time where I was sick for like 2.5 weeks after like a few day bender, but like not like it was like a couple day bender, you know, and it was like not like 48 hours straight, but it was like drinking from like 5 p.m. till 5 a.m., waking up at 2 p.m., starting again. I did that for like 2 days, you know, when then there was some cocaine mixed in and some Adderall. Not like tons though. I wasn't doing like an 8-ball, you know what I mean? Just some. And then I was sick for 2.5 weeks. I am talking. I was at the doctor. I was shaking. I was like shitting black tar. I was like at the fucking stomach doctor. What is the stomach doctor called?
I don't know.
Gastroenterologist. Yeah, they wanted to do a colonoscopy and endoscopy and this and that. But really, it wasn't just like a physical. It's like when I'm drinking or using, I'm so out of alignment because when you're an addict or an alcoholic, it's like you are so allergic to the shit that you can't feel okay. There is no way to feel okay.
Yeah, I hear you. It's like it's funny because I've been doing like because I do 12-step stuff and
I wanted to ask you about that. And it's weird because like, not to interrupt you, but it's like I know it's like don't talk about it. You know, there's these principles, don't talk about it in like, you know, press and but it's also like that shit was like made in 1940, and if I want to talk a little about it, you know, there's so many. I have a lot of problems with AA, and I think it's important to like question it and not fully blindly believe every single. It's a lot of dogma. It's a lot of. But for me, I do believe it works. For me,
it's like it works for me. I see it a little bit like how Hasidic Jews operate. Like they have like weird loophole shit. Like you put the chalk around the neighborhood and then you can turn on your electricity at Sabbath.
Wait,
and like
they do chalk.
Well, they do some kind of line of like some prayer line. The whole Upper West Side is chalked off so they can like operate on the weekends.
Wait, I didn't fucking know that.
I don't know. Like that's me saying like Penn South is colloquial. I'm not exactly sure if it's true.
But there are a lot of loopholes.
There's loopholes. And I feel like with 12-step, I don't say AA. I just say 12-step. No, because
so
it's like
12 steps.
It's a loophole.
It's 12 steps. It's a loophole.
But one of the things for me that's weird, it's like because I'm working with more people, like I'm trying to I'm running Zooms, I'm sponsoring people, whatever. Yeah. And I'm talking to sick people.
You were this into it.
I'm into it.
That's great. That makes me feel like because I'm back with 1.5 years, which nobody knows, but now they do.
You've just outed yourself.
Yeah, I just outed myself. And I'm like, oh, okay. Because I was like, oh, maybe he's not that into like the 12 steps.
No, I'm really into it.
That's great.
But I'm still uncomfortable when I say, I have to put my recovery first. Like when I say that, I feel sick, like itchy.
Why? Because it's like one of the sayings.
I don't like the dogmatic style
stuff.
of it. Yeah. I don't like saying it. I know that I didn't like hearing it ever, but I really believe it's true.
So true.
Do you feel comfortable saying it?
I feel comfortable saying that my recovery and me abstaining from alcohol and drugs and putting the work into that I need to is the most important thing, because if I don't do it, I will my daughter will be fucked.
And you'll be miserable.
Again.
Regardless of what happens to your daughter, you'll be so miserable. It won't be fun.
No, but I'm codependent with her, so I need her to feel good so I can feel good.
That makes sense. No, my wife says, I only feel as good as my most unhappy child.
It's so true. You cannot be okay as a parent. Like I know, and again, it's this codependent, like again, like that might be like an Al-Anon kind of thing. Like, no, you have to, how the hell can you, if your child's suffering, sometimes when I have had these horrible, and by the way, I didn't like drink. I haven't drank alcohol in like a few years now, but I went out on, I already told you this story. I went out on substances. I'm not going to get into it right now.
Yeah. You'll come on Dopey and tell
you'll get my book and then you'll hear about it. But what was I just saying?
You were saying codependency.
No, my daughter. So with this relapse that I had and then the fucking mental hospital, whatever, there were some days where I felt so like I was like, I would rather be dead than feeling like this. But I was like, you know what? At least my daughter's not feeling like this. At least it's me. Because I would rather feel like this than her.
Of course.
What the fuck? Because then there's no, like, then we're both feeling like, at least she, is okay. And I don't think she doesn't seem like an addict to me.
How old is she?
16.
Well, good. At 16, I was pretty, no, I think I blackout drank at 16.
I was already.
You were really happening.
I was already in rehab and I was,
16. I mean, but it's like we grew up in the same neighborhood.
Yeah.
You were moved to the suburbs.
I was moved to the suburbs.
But I
accelerated.
was in crazy nerdy school in Manhattan. I was crazy sheltered. Hunter on the Upper East Side.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I was like,
Sacred Heart was right next to it.
I know.
We have a little bit of an age gap, but not that much.
We loved the Sacred Heart girls. Yeah, we did. And the Lycée girls.
They were cooler.
We were too nerdy for them to fuck with us too much.
Yeah, I guess.
Hunter's a very nerdy place.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know about Hunter?
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't use until I was like 17. I blackout drank, but I was like, I don't really want to do it. I didn't really go in until I was like 18. I started being real stonery.
So since you're like a recovering heroin addict,
yes,
I have friends who have recovered from heroin addiction
and smoke weed
and drink sometimes and are not like, their lives are fine. It's a very weird thing because you don't just like, you always get addicted to heroin if you do it. Not only if you're like, like you're like, even if you're not an alcoholic or addict, if I start shooting heroin tomorrow, I'm going to keep doing it. Or like anyone would.
It keeps you honest. It's like, I like that you bring that up because people don't talk about that. It's like when you talk about the allergy to alcohol that you need to drink and drink and drink. Right. With heroin, you get physically addicted to it. But with alcohol, you kind of do too. If you stop drinking after you drink a lot, if you stop drinking, you'll go into DTs and withdrawal.
That's true, which I've never had like DTs.
So that's good. Maybe you can drink.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't even try that. Wait, DTs are the delirious tremor.
Delirium tremens. Tremens. Yeah, I think.
It's when you're like, what the hell's a tremens?
I don't know. I don't know.
It's a tremor. It's like if you shake and stuff.
I always thought it was tremors. Can I look it up?
Look it up.
Okay.
Let's see, because we need to know. But look, are you watching? Did you watch Dope Sick?
Yeah.
Are you watching Painkiller or no?
No, I can't.
Okay, because I didn't watch Dope Sick, so I've decided to now watch Painkiller.
How is it?
Oh my God, I had to take a break because it makes me so angry.
Why?
That this was allowed.
Yeah, it's tremens.
It's tremens.
Yeah, I'm going to read the thing.
Now let's also look up colloquial.
Delirium tremens. I'm not looking up. Colloquial is like, I think, a local expression. I'm going to look it up because I'm going to sound stupid. It out. Delirium tremens is rapid onset of confusion, usually caused by withdrawal from alcohol. When it occurs, it is often 3 days into the withdrawal symptoms and lasts for 2 to 3 days. Physical effects may include shaking, shivering, irregular heart rate, and sweating. Oh. People also hallucinate. Now tell me about Painkiller.
Had them.
Yeah, of course
I think I have had them. Of course I've definitely had DTs. That's insane. So Painkiller, and anyone listening or watching, is a show about the Sackler family who created OxyContin and, all
Did you do any OxyContin?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't do any.
Yeah.
Never. But keep going.
Yeah. I mean, it's the same. Like, I did heroin a couple times. I sniffed it, though. I didn't shoot it. I have some, some
self-control.
Some self-control, well, and oxys, I mean, the thing is, I'm not like I'm not an opioid person. Like, I'm a benzo person.
I love benzos.
Yeah, benzos to me are much better than opioids. Like, I don't like that, that.
Benzos, I find them to be kind of similar in a weird way. Opioids are more
body. They're more body. I feel like they're more body feeling, and benzos are more mental feeling. Like,
how much benzos did you take though?
A lot.
I took a lot of benzos.
Yeah, a lot.
Like, I would eat them. You know what I mean?
Okay, well, maybe it wasn't like.
It was bad. I was really bad with benzos.
Okay, no. I again, yeah, I have some self-control. No, I'm kidding. But maybe, I don't know. I wouldn't take more than 2 milligrams of Klonopin at once.
No, I would fucking go down on, I lived in Los Angeles for a little while.
So you go to Tijuana.
No, well, we did that, but then I stopped going to Tijuana because you could buy Klonopins $1 a pill in downtown LA on the street. 2 milligram, 2 milligram Klonopins.
Scary.
And we would just eat them. I would buy 10 for fucking $5.
And you would take,
and I would just eat the whole 10.
20 milligrams of
It was crazy.
And then what would you would just be nodding out.
And then I would shoot heroin.
Oh my
and then I would be faded. And then when I stopped taking benzos, I had horrible seizures. Horrible seizures.
Yeah,
I had a seizure in Penn South before I moved to LA where I fell out of my loft bed onto my glass bong. The cops came. I wouldn't let them pull me out of the apartment. I'm like holding the door, reaching for the cop's gun. I wake up in St. Vincent's Hospital.
Oh,
I was really
Vincent,
bad.
St.
My
Vincent.
first daughter was born in St.
My
Vincent.
daughter was born
Beautiful.
there.
And I was taken there a couple times.
I was taken there a bunch of times
Right.
too. Hell yeah.
It's like when I tell these kinds of stories, like even when I do my show, like I have fucked up people on my show all the time.
Yeah.
And I have 8 years sober, and I kind of feel removed from that life, but it was really bad, you know?
Yeah, you're not though. I know. Well, I know when I think about, you know,
I love that you say that. You give me this look. You're not.
you're not. It's
yeah.
not. It's like, you know, yeah. I mean, yeah, it's not. I know, but when I recount stories too of like being like, you know, dusted and being taken out in an ambulance of a rave and shutting the whole rave down, you know, or whatever. I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe that was me.
What about the safe stealing story in New Jersey?
The
or
safe
whatever?
stealing story is a crazy one.
Yeah.
Did I tell you that one?
Yeah,
on your-
yeah, it's great.
It's on there.
It's great.
Wow. Oh my God. What is that? Like when you can't get arrested because it's been too many years of
Statute of limitations. Do you want me to
limitations.
Google
That's-
that? No. It's,
No, I know that, and I know that I'm past that and that I'm okay. You know, I don't even remember the name of the fucking club.
that's for the best.
Thank God. Thank God.
Leah came on Dopey, and she told shit that she had to call me and be like, you have to take it out of the show.
Yeah, there were things I had to tell you to take it out, you know?
It was good stuff.
Yeah. Well, it's crazy. You know what I was telling someone the other day, though? It's like, it's crazy because like alcoholism and drug addiction, I do believe it is a disease. I do believe that it's like, it's a very complicated, murky, like.
Do you feel comfortable with the disease concept? Like
I like
cancer and alcoholism.
Well, it's different than cancer. It's not, because there is this like, there is a element of like willpower, and I don't believe it's all God that gets us sober. Why would God get one person sober, not the other? You do have to kind of take some steps to like not do it. Like you have to like make a decision to not do it. You know what I mean?
But when you get, it's like you've managed
knowledge.
What?
No, I'm saying drop the knowledge.
No,
like,
well, I'm saying that you fucking like you've made you've gotten time and then you went out. Like I never had time ever.
yeah.
Like never. What was the longest time you had?
Okay, so this is the thing though. Now that I'm like really, really sober and like not abusing Klonopin and not
Nice.
drinking codeine with cough syrup,
That sounds delicious.
you know, yeah. My first sober like round of sobriety time, which was 9 years of not drinking, did not, you know, I was never really like
abstinent.
I was never abstinent. Like I got hooked on Klonopin within the first month of sobriety because a doctor gave it to me. But then I was not taking it as prescribed. And then like I was on it for fucking 6 years and had to like get off of it. And it took like 7 months to get off of it. And it was like horrible, like to get off of it. It
Horrible.
was
The worst.
the worst. And then I was microdosing. I was smoking weed. So like
What were you microdosing?
Mushrooms.
How is that? Is it good?
I don't.
Is it like nothing?
It was not. It was, you know, I wasn't really doing it on some like healing shit. I was doing it. I was pretending to do it on some healing shit. I was like, I'll get off my antidepressants. But then then I did some Molly, and then I wasn't really like abstinent. Like now I'm really actually abstinent, and it's
way different.
fucking insane. I like cry every day.
Is that good though?
Even on antidepressants. I'm like, what the fuck? Like normally people are like numb on antidepressants. I'm like, ah. It's good because I feel like this is all a part of the process. Like I need to be feeling these feelings. I need to be fucking going through these emotions. And sometimes they really feel like they're going to break me, but I'm so much better than I was a year and a half ago. I could barely function. When I went on that book tour, I had suicidal ideations nonstop. It was
and
horrible.
now?
No, not in a while.
I mean, I think that's the thing. It's like everyone thinks they're going to stop using and their life is going to be better. And that's not true. It's going to be bad for a while.
It's going to be bad.
But it's going to get better. And then it's going to get a little bit better. And my favorite saying now, it's like, if you keep going, you can get there. And if you stop, you can't get there.
That's true.
It's my beautiful, very.
What about don't quit before the miracle?
I don't say that. My favorite thing. Okay. You want to hear my favorite cliche? What's your favorite cliche?
My favorite saying?
Yeah.
I like easy does it.
Okay.
Let go and let God.
You do?
I do.
You just said you don't like God.
No, I don't know. I love God, but
Okay.
I don't believe that God has the power to get one person sober and not the other, right? And I don't believe in God's will. I don't believe in God's will.
But that's a very Catholic Jewish God, right? That's not the broad fucking
That's not, I know, but
universe
like,
God.
you know, a lot of people are like, it's God's will. And it's like, just shut up. God's will is not like for fucking babies to be like horrible
Killed.
things happening. And, you know, it's like, we're human and we fuck things up. And like,
100%.
it's,
My thinking about God's will is if it happens, it's God's will because it happened. Do you know what I'm saying? Like everything.
right.
So
okay,
it's like,
I understand.
so
that
the
too.
and the only path, the only next right thing path is to try to look after somebody, try to be kind, try to like not fuck with anybody.
Yeah,
And then you're on the right path.
that's true.
You know, for me, God, like in the book, it says God is everything or God is nothing.
Yeah.
And I always felt that to be like a smarmy kind of expression, like if God is everything.
Yeah.
But for me, God is everything, like everything, like
Yeah.
the ocean, the sky,
Yeah,
you, me,
everything.
Dave over there,
Yeah.
the table, whatever.
Right.
And it's like that God is like not, you know, Jesus or Buddha or some old Jew in the sky or,
Right.
you know, it's like everything
Yeah.
included. And that's my weird, because I'm trying, well, you talked about making a decision, right? It's like I'm trying to make a decision to be spiritual and it's not comfortable and it's not necessarily natural, but it's a decision and I have to keep making it to try to get closer to it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think that you know, when I started the 12 steps, when I first came into the room, can I say that? I don't even know. Whatever. That's a little
Are you worried about outing yourself on
not
your
outing
show?
myself. No, obviously I talk about, you know, being part of, you know, in a program and stuff like that. But anyway, you know, it's a lot of people are like, I'm turned off the God stuff. I was never turned off by the God stuff because like I liked going to Catholic school. I liked the, you know, I didn't believe in like Jesus, but I liked the God part, you know, and I believed in God. And also when I prayed from a young age. I liked praying. And when I was like a teenager doing all the crazy drugs, I went to purgatory 3 different times on 2 different drugs. I went to another dimension. I'm like, there is something else out there. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
and also doing hallucinogenics and like, you know, being and then, you know, yeah, oh man, I'm tempted to do like I'm not going to, but I'm
Ayahuasca?
Yeah, not ayahuasca.
Have you done ayahuasca?
No, I've never done ayahuasca.
I'm shocked.
I don't want to.
I'm shocked you don't have an ayahuasca person who comes by.
I know. No, I mean, I do. If I wanted to, I know them, you know, but I'm not interested in like, you know, going to the jungle and shitting in a bucket and like,
Not at all?
and like meeting me as a baby in my mother's womb.
Not at all?
No.
That sounds fascinating to me.
Dude, my brain is already fucking so insane. The dreams I have every night, my subconscious, like
I know.
it's like I'm on an ayahuasca trip every day of my
Yes,
life. Like I
yes.
don't need to do that.
I'm with you.
But I would like to do MDMA therapy.
Oh, yeah. Like now. I'm down. Let's do it.
But not to be, and you know, I had this amazing woman, Kimberly, on my podcast who had dealt with a lot of trauma and it's really helping her, you know, and she's doesn't have like a drug problem like us, but I don't know. I feel like there's a time and a place for some of this stuff. Plus I've been on, you know, I'm on antidepressants and
What about ketamine?
Oh, and I have said that if I ever hit another depression like I had a couple years ago, I'm doing ketamine. I'm not going to another. I'm not taking more psych meds. I'm not.
And what about like, I mean, it is a slippery slope. Like
Yeah.
what's the difference between psych meds and ketamine
That's
or
exactly.
legal weed or ayahuasca or MDMA?
Yeah.
It's
Well,
like
that's true.
they're all like chemicals
Yes.
to change how we feel and some of them work really well.
Yes.
I am not an expert in it at all.
Right. Me neither. Well, I kind of am now. No, I'm kidding.
I enjoyed ketamine. Like I did ketamine.
I loved Special K.
I did it once like that, like willingly. And then like I had some weird batch of heroin that they replaced ketamine. They put a ton of ketamine into the heroin, right?
But you're not supposed to put that in your blood. It's supposed to go in your muscle, I thought.
It wasn't good.
Okay.
It wasn't the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
But I found myself like sleepwalking when I was on it.
Oh.
And one night I woke up outside of my apartment. Like I woke up.
Your neighbors must have loved you.
I woke up in my underwear,
Poor
closing the door on the outside of the door. It
Oh
was
my
so
God.
bad. And I had to call my father to get me a key to my apartment.
Our poor parents.
I know.
I mean, but also you reap what you sow.
Right? It's totally their fault. It's right? Isn't it?
I'm not letting them fully get away with like.
I love blame. My favorite thing is to blame my father for me being an IV heroin addict. It's like my favorite thing.
Wait, are you being sarcastic?
I don't know. I know it's not all his fault.
It's not all their fault, but
No.
it's somewhat their fault.
It's fun to blame
It's
them.
like nature and nurture. I'm sorry, it is. Like, it's not fully like it's not fully their fault, but it's not like not.
Right. It's like you
Like,
can't not be. That's
you
what I
can't
say to them
not
all
be.
the
You
time. I say,
raised
listen,
me.
Dad, I know that you didn't buy me heroin. I mean,
Right.
he kind of did,
didn't-
but that's a whole other story.
He didn't stick the needle in your arm.
No, he never stuck the needle in my arm. And I know it's really my fault, but he couldn't have helped if that happened.
Yeah.
You know, there's something there.
Right.
But I really enjoy blaming him now that he's 80, 79. And because my dad loves Dopey. Like, Dopey's been around for
Yeah, how long have you been doing it?
fucking like almost 8 years.
Amazing. Since when you got sober.
We
pretty
we
much.
started it when I had 4 months,
Wow.
and my partner Chris had a year and a
Rest in
half. And in the beginning we were just like being stupid. Like, I had 4 months, I was putting down AA, I was talking
course.
shit, we were just telling fucking fucked up stories. And we did it for like 2 years, and he died.
Yeah.
He relapsed out of nowhere and died from fentanyl. After saying on the show 100 million times, oh my God, if I had been using when there was fentanyl, I'd be dead.
Wow.
And then he died, So I've been doing the show since I got sober. We have a great audience. Like,
Yeah.
we have a huge community. And
someone came up to me recently.
no way.
In the Hamptons.
No way.
At this like bougie ass restaurant.
no
Yeah.
way. What
Yeah.
did they say?
They said, I just want to let you know, I thought they were going to be like, I loved you on Bravo, but it was like a guy, but whatever. And he was like, I loved you on the Dopey podcast.
No way.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
was cool.
You should have told me.
I'm sorry. I'm
I
telling
love
you
it.
now.
Well, isn't that incredible?
Yeah.
You were fucking great.
Thank you.
You were great.
I didn't listen to it.
I don't blame you, but you were.
Yeah,
I
it's
did.
like, a lot of war stories. It's like, it's kind of crazy because, and I was going to say this earlier, but I was talking to a friend of mine. I'm like, alcoholism and drug addiction, it is, I like the disease thing. Is it different than cancer and diabetes? Yes. But, it also is something that I wish I could fucking have some wine. I wish I could recreationally do some grade A Colombian cocaine on New Year's,
Right.
or at a fucking wedding. Maybe people don't really do coke at weddings, but I used to.
I'm sure they do.
I think they do.
A lot.
People
Yes,
recreationally
of
do.
course.
But I can't. And but the thing is, addiction and alcoholism turns you into a fucking asshole. And it's hard to have sympathy or empathy for people who are selfish pieces of shit, ruining everyone's lives around them and their own.
Right. Right.
Right? Like,
Well, I think people can do it. And I think you can do that if you want. The thing about, I'm assuming you're like I am, which is like, if I use anything, even when I imagine like taking psychedelics spiritually, whatever, I'm like, wait, how do I smoke weed when can I smoke weed when I'm taking them then? And then I'm like, okay, if I smoke weed, can I smoke weed the next day? Like, as soon as I think about
Totally.
taking it, I think, okay, when's the next time I can take it? That's how I know I'm a total addict.
interesting.
The second, like, if you think about having a glass of wine, right? Do you think
Oh,
about the next
wine.
one immediately?
Yeah, of course.
So that's
Like,
why.
Yeah.
That's the only
no.
reason.
Absolutely. Plus I I was thinking I was thinking to myself for a long time, okay, I know I can't drink because I'm crazy when I drink, but I'm like, I could do drugs once in a while, but I can't because I end up drinking.
Right. It's the chicken and the egg
It's
thing.
like,
yeah.
and I thought I was, and then I thought I was doing okay. Like, I was like, okay, I'm not drinking, but I'll take Xanax and Valium and like whatever else, and then that led me to doing drugs and ending up in a mental hospital. So it's like, I really can't do drugs either
No.
because I didn't drink for 3 years and I have to be fully admitting that I am completely powerless over this and I need help.
Was this your plan with having me on? Were you ready to have this kind of conversation?
No, I had no idea what I was even talking to you about.
Do you
today.
feel comfortable talking about this stuff?
Yeah.
All right, good.
Yeah, I'm not cutting any of it out.
Okay, good.
Yeah. I think people will love this episode too.
I think honesty is great, especially with
Yeah.
with your world, because they want to know what the fuck is up with you.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to know
wanna
everything.
Fully honest,
They wanna know
though? I don't
everything.
know.
No?
I feel like people that watch Roni and these shows that don't really want to know the full truth of what really goes on.
You think they want to just get the super glitzy version.
Right, the edited version, and they don't want to know about like all the rest of the shit that goes on. But maybe they do. I don't know.
Do you miss it?
No.
None of it?
None.
None of it?
Absolutely not. Oh my God.
And how often are people referencing it with you?
I mean, it's impossible to talk about my life with someone without talking about that because it was a part of it and it was a huge part and it's recent and you know, it's like.
It's funny, when you came to my dad's to do the show, you were about to go to Thailand.
Oh my God.
And I wanted the Real Housewives to go to Katz's. And you were like, that's a good idea. And it was like, it's an amazing cultural event. My wife loves your season and she was so bummed.
Aww.
She was so bummed when they changed it.
Yeah.
She was like, fucking, what the fuck is this? Who are these people?
I mean, I would never go back. I could never.
Do they ask? Does that happen?
No. I'm not in touch with anyone from Bravo.
Wow. Was it bad?
Well, I mean, I didn't promote like Ultimate Girls Trip. I didn't go on Watch What Happens Live. You know, I refused to go on.
Why?
I just didn't want to be a part of it.
You were done?
Yeah.
Because it was dark.
Yeah, it's dark. It's toxic. I don't want to be on Watch What Happens Live and get asked shady, stupid questions that just put me in a fucking position where I have to say something nasty about someone or whatever. I'm just done.
Did you think sobriety doesn't align with that shit?
Definitely not I don't align with it. I can't speak for everyone, but like obviously the principles that we learn, like there is no way it adds up. It doesn't like align at all. So I literally was having like physical like my body was physically like, no, like you're not. Even going to BravoCon was like hell. Because I was just like, I don't, even though I love the fans and I love seeing the fans and I like seeing the other women, some of them. But you know, just to continue to be a part of that like machine, it was like very uncomfortable.
I hear you.
Yeah.
It's interesting because it's such a crazy cultural phenomenon that you were like a huge part of its resurgence and that it can bite you in the butt. But that's a weird, fucked up thing, reality TV.
It is.
Especially in that world. It's like,
yeah, totally. I think just the entertainment industry in general it's a dark fucking place, you know, and especially reality TV and especially those shows on that network.
It's funny because like I have Dr. Drew on Dopey all the time.
Yeah, how's he doing?
I think he's good. I have his daughter on this week.
Oh, cool.
Show. Yeah, she tells a crazy story about having this boyfriend and she strapped on a dildo and fucked him all summer. I swear to God. That's coming out this week.
Pegging him.
Yes.
Was she ever an addict?
She is an addict.
She's an addict.
In recovery.
Yeah,
it's wild.
Wait, is Dr. Drew?
No.
But then he has a daughter who's an addict and in recovery. What are the chances?
I mean, like
that makes sense,
she was a figure skater with an eating disorder who wound up, she like was addicted to like kind of like weed concentrates and dissociative chemicals. Okay. But it was all like crazy control shit. But I just like
dissociative chemicals. I already disassociate on my own.
Well, you don't need them. But these weird, like, they're these research drugs. Like they're weird.
Like weird government shit?
They're like,
it's like what?
They're probably most similar to ketamine.
Yeah, right, because that.
It's like that. They're all these weird tranquilizers. I
didn't even know what dissociating was. I didn't know that.
Me neither.
But I didn't know that I did it all the time.
I think I still do it.
I totally do.
I know.
Like my therapist will be like, Leah. And I'm like, what? She's like, you're in the trance again. I'm like, what? Like, and then, but I remember at one point, like walking down the street after a bender and like looking at my arms and not feeling like they were mine and feeling like I was floating above my body and shit.
You know when I disassociate hardcore? It's weird. Okay.
When you don't want to deal with something.
Yes, but there's this thing, right? We have this really shitty fucking above ground pool, an Intex pool. You just put water in it. It's a pool.
Yeah.
It's like huge. And my daughter, I have a 5-year-old daughter and I have a 13-year-old daughter. And my 5-year-old daughter, I'll swim underwater and she'll say, "Daddy, can I stand on your back?" So I'll be on the bottom of the pool.
Yeah.
And she'll stand on my back. And I swear to God, that's when I really feel like I'm not in my body. Like I feel like my body is just like this weird fucking thing.
It is a weird thing.
It's so weird. But when you're underwater and someone's stepping on you, you should try
that.
You have to try it.
That's how we get high now.
Yeah, that's how I get high. It's like, Susan, come step on my back. Help daddy disassociate. It's crazy.
So wait, what? I mean, I do things to escape though.
What do you do?
You have to. I mean, exercise, even though now I haven't done that in a couple months. I have to get back to that. Definitely sex.
You haven't exercised in a couple of months?
No. I mean, I've been walking like 20,000 steps a day.
That's a lot
and
of
exhausting myself, but I was also like had a sinus infection for a month, and then I was like traveling, and then I was like so stressed out that I wasn't eating, so I really couldn't work out.
Where do you walk?
Some along the West Side Highway.
Nice.
But like sometimes I'll just walk everywhere.
I love that. I do that too.
Like yesterday I walked 21,000 steps. I don't even know where I went.
Where'd you go?
I don't know.
I love that.
Where'd I go? Oh no, I walked from my apartment down by Wall Street to like 20th and Park, and then back down.
It's great. That's the best.
Like,
That's the best. I do that shit too. Every day I walked from Penn Station to Katz's and back. And then I would walk, I'd walk 13 miles in Katz's waiting tables.
Shut the what?
Yes, that's
okay, that's crazy.
Crazy. I waited tables at Katz's for 11 years straight, 6 days a week, fucking 12-hour shifts on Saturday. Insanity.
How did you start working at Katz?
Oh, God. The true story is that
true story. Give us
my cousin bought Katz's in the 80s.
Whoa.
I started working there in 1993 in between high school and college, and in college. Then I became a TV producer. Then I became a heroin addict. Then I went to California. And then when I was 35, my mom got leukemia and she's like, I'm going to die. And I'm in fucking Los Angeles on methadone. And I'm like, I had this feeling like I can't be in Los Angeles on methadone when my mother's dying.
No.
So I came home and I asked Katz's if I could work there. And this is 2008.
Was your cousin still the owner?
He was just passing it on to his nephew.
Got it.
When I got in there. And I started working there in 2008 on the back counter, like selling meat and Snapple. Like that's what I did. And I remember I was like, holy shit, I can't believe I'm here. I'm such a fucking loser. I cannot believe that this is my life. And the back counter
I think
guy,
it's pretty cool that you worked there.
Dude, go there, work for fucking.
I'm not saying I want to work there.
I showed up in October, fresh off heroin and methadone, fucked up, like my brain not well. My mother's dying. It's busy as fuck. Like I'm working 3 in the afternoon to 3 in the morning on the back counter, and it's busy. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? And the back counter guy, he's like, boy, he's Jamaican. Yeah. He's like, boy, you're not gonna believe what the place is like in Christmas. And I'm like, dude, I'm not gonna fucking be here in Christmas. And then I'm there fucking 11 years later. I'm still there. I'm just not waiting tables.
But what do you do now?
I do whatever. I do corporate catering. Yeah. I've made up my title as strategic partnerships.
Love it.
I know. It sounds very high.
Sounds really good.
I know. But
in 1888, the hat you're wearing, that is the year that Katz's opened up.
Yeah.
It's in the same fucking place that it has been for over 100 years.
Yes. And it's an amazing place. When's the last time you went to Katz's?
I haven't been there in a while, but I've ordered. I think I ordered there within the last year some matzo ball soup, pastrami sandwich, of course. I
learned more about life, and I got sober in there. Like I got sober waiting tables in there. I made a web series in there called The Last Jewish Waiter about a waiter who hates waiting tables and he wants to have a talk show.
That's great.
So he does his talk show while he waits tables.
Yeah.
And it got picked up sort of by the guys who did Anthony Bourdain's show, and then we could never sell it.
Damn.
But
that's
too
so
Jewish.
Cool.
It was cool. It was fun. And Dopey came out of all that.
Right.
I got sober in there and we started doing Dopey. Like in the end, like I didn't wind up going to rehab. I just went to meetings.
I mean, listen, at some point you're going to get out of rehab and have to deal with life anyway. Because I haven't been to rehab since 2000. Since 2000, the year 2000.
Oh, good. That's amazing. Yeah. I was in 2011. I was in treatment, Mountainside, Connecticut.
I know people who went there.
Really?
Yes. I went to Karen Foundation twice.
Dude, where'd you go? In Pennsylvania
Yeah,
or in
in
Florida?
Pennsylvania. Yeah.
I was in a spot in Florida in Delray called Renaissance.
Oh, I've heard of that.
That place is bad. And
Oh,
when I
really?
was there, fucking, that was a bad place.
There's a lot of these places that are horrible that are run. You don't really need like credentials to like run a fucking, and then there's
No
all these
kidding.
insurance scams.
I know.
It's insane. Like the fucking recovery, like business is a lot of scammer shit.
Wow, it's because there's so much money to make off desperate people. And like,
True.
and the only way out is like what you said. It's when some fucking burst of inspiration hits you and you're like, I gotta do something different.
Yeah.
And then it's like there's no place can really teach you that. They can try. The answer, comes from within.
It really does. And sometimes, so this was my, like, because, I've had a lot of friends that, haven't gotten sober and have passed away and or still are alive and, whatever, getting fucked up. But I'm just like, maybe they're in so much pain that they can't do it. Like maybe it's too much. I don't know.
I mean, I think anybody that can't do it, it's because they're not doing it. And when you do it, it's because you are doing it, but there's no rhyme or reason why.
Yeah, there isn't.
I don't fault anybody for not being sober.
Oh my God, same.
Like I never had a chance. Like I started using in 1993 and I stopped using in 2015. You know what I mean? Like
That's crazy.
it's a long time.
It's a really long time.
And it's a miracle that I stopped and there was no rhyme or reason why I did. It just, I think it was just because I got so frustrated and a thing happened with my partner and our daughter, like that I was working to get back together with I call her my wife, but we never got married.
But your two daughters are from the same.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
but we broke up for 5 years because like I relapsed and she left. So I was trying to get her back.
I think you did tell me this last time, but that's so sweet that you guys got back together and had another baby.
I know.
That's amazing.
It's amazing. Yeah.
That is mostly amazing.
It's mostly
like,
amazing.
It's really a true like testament of like how sobriety can like change your fucking life.
Yes. It's like, and I would never have had, I wouldn't have gotten sober if I didn't really want to. I mean, it's funny. I got sober to fix my family, but when I actually had the sobriety stick, it was because I had to do it for myself.
Yeah, I think that like having my daughter, like it accelerated. Like I was like, okay, I need to stop drinking. Like I have a 2-year-old. I'm like getting wasted. I'm blackout drunk, like coming home. I don't even remember. Her dad is like filming me and like gonna fucking like take her away from me, But then and maybe if I hadn't had that responsibility, but there's a lot of women and men that don't get sober. They can't and they have children. So I don't know. But for me, it was like, it definitely was a motivator to like do it. But then I started drinking again and was like, it's okay, Kiki. Everything's going to be fine. I can control it now. She was like, what's happening?
Well, it's like you managed to be incredibly successful though.
Well, that's also tricky.
It's a double-edged sword.
It's a double-edged sword, but it's funny because like I have friends who are like, you're such a high functioning like alcoholic and drug addict. It's like I don't know about that. Like, am I? Like, I feel like I lost out so many years in like high school where like I didn't like have a life. I didn't have a life. I was like in a therapeutic community or like didn't have a home to live in. And then with the brand becoming successful, with Mob becoming successful. That wasn't because of like I was not an addict. It was because like it worked. Me being an addict worked for that because like it was accepted. I could party all fucking night and get
part
shit
of
done.
it.
That was part of it. Like I would never be able to be successful and hold a job somewhere else. It was my own thing, Plus, it might have been much more successful had I not been an addict or alcoholic.
You never know. I mean, it's like, when people say everything happens for a reason, for me, I just look at it like everything happens because it does happen. And your brand was really successful because it was the right confluence of things.
It was so many different things had to like line up, like
and it
luck
did.
and like the timing and,
you were a great engine of the whole thing.
I busted my ass, but I have crazy addict energy. You know what I mean? So I'm like, addicted to making this brand work.
I'm totally addicted to Dopey. Like I'm totally addicted to it.
Yeah.
And like some dude, it's funny. Like I had this dude on the show. He's like face tattoo, grill, crazy junkie stories. And I don't know him particularly well. Comes on the show, crushed, like this show crushed. Like everyone loved it. He was like a doorman in a fucking heroin shooting gallery in Philly. He like wound up going to Australia, heroin, like crazy fucking stories. And I wanted him to be at DopeyCon. And I set him up to be at DopeyCon, and he was going to tell a story at DopeyCon. And I start asking him, does he have anybody else that might have some really crazy stories like he does? He's such a weirdo, such a character. And I swear to God, last night he texted me. He's like, I don't think you really care about me. He said, I don't think you really care about me. I think you only care about your show. And I was like, I think you might be right. but it's like, dude, I only know you through the show.
Yeah, like wait, but you
and I was like,
he's so sensitive. That's
sweet. But I am
addicts are sensitive people, as we know.
Yeah, I hope he comes to DopeyCon because his stories are fucking crazy. And I hope you come to DopeyCon too.
I know. I'm really gonna try my best. But I know you don't care about me. You only care about your show. I'm just kidding.
But it's like there is a weird
We're selfish addicts.
I know. It's like and then the other thing is, how does anybody ever get successful that isn't obsessed with their thing?
Exactly. They do not.
Right.
You must be selfish and addicted and breathe it and live it and all the things.
Right.
It has to be all about that.
All right. I feel better now. Thank you for helping me rationalize.
No, who cares? Also, it's not like
I want everyone to like me. I want this guy to like me. I feel bad. Like, I thought it was weird that he did like me. Then we went
I think it's weird that he said you don't care about me, honestly, but whatever.
It was weird. Well, it was what it was I texted him early. I wake up really early in the morning, and I texted him early in the morning, and he's like, dog, I don't get any texts at 8:30 in the morning. And I was like, sorry. And I texted him that night, and he's like, I think you're really self-obsessed about your show. And that's how I imagine he talked. I don't think he really talked like that. And I was like, you're right. And then I went to bed like, fuck, he doesn't like me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm sure that when somebody doesn't like you, does it bother you? No.
No.
I think it's different. Like, I think I have
I'm not a people pleaser person.
Never.
I mean, I guess there's all different kinds of people pleasers, but no.
I pretend I'm not a people pleaser, but I'm
really not.
Pleaser. Good for you.
Yeah, but it's not even good for me. It's just the way I am. It's not. There's some things that aren't great about it. Like trust me, you know. But like, it's not good. Like, I've said no to things I should have said yes to.
Like, Watch What Happens Live.
Except that. No, fuck that. Definitely not. I mean, friends' birthdays, my friend's parents' wedding. You know what I mean? Like things like that I should have done that I'm like, no, I need to take care of myself. And I think I'm going to skip out on this. You know, I'm known for like not going to things. Like, I'm not really into like.
Right. I mean, you remind me of a friend of mine.
I'll show up for friends.
When it's good for you.
When it. No, when they really need me. But like with some things, it's just like birthday parties and shit. Like, I'm just like, really? Because I don't give a shit about my birthday. You know, like my birthday was a couple days ago. I didn't give a fuck.
It was your when?
Yeah, exactly. See, August 27th.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. But it's like, you know, I didn't.
What'd you do for your birthday?
I was in Miami. I didn't do anything though.
Nothing?
Nothing.
Did anybody celebrate?
My friend got me a cake.
Nice cake?
It was okay. It was from Whole Foods. It didn't matter.
Not a great cake.
It was delicious. It tasted delicious. My friend had just had tooth surgery. She had to put her dog down while I was there. It was like a whole thing. She got me some healing crystals. My boyfriend didn't get me anything.
Nothing?
He's going to make it up to me. But, you know, we were like in another state. Like, yeah, I reamed him out. Trust me. But, you know, it's not that big of a deal.
All right.
It's a birthday.
All right.
And for me, it's not like I planned a thing.
See, I like my birthday to be like a holiday. Like
really? Oh, you're like that. Wait, when's your birthday?
June 1st. I'm not.
Oh my God. That's my daughter's birthday.
That's weird.
That is fucking crazy. Wait. You're a Gemini.
Yeah.
This makes so much sense. You're so fucking sensitive.
I know.
Oh my God. Gemini men are insane.
It's not
They're
easy.
wild.
It's not easy. It's not an easy life.
Very sensitive.
I don't need a whole thing. I just need I just need everything to be exactly the way I want it to be.
See, I don't even know how I want it
I'm just playing. I like.
Okay. I'm like, I don't even know what I want.
I think as a father, I let the boat sail, but I think I also judge my wife for not making more of a thing for my birthday.
Well, now when I think that my daughter didn't get me anything for my birthday. I'm going to have to talk to her about that today.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But definitely wish her. I'm glad that we have the same birthday.
That is so funny that you, and so does Marilyn Monroe.
I know.
You know that.
And Michael J. Fox.
Really?
Yeah. I know a lot of people who have the June 1st birthday, and I resent most of them.
I think Mother Teresa and maybe Michael Jackson or Pee Wee Herman are August 27th, or they might be August 26th. I can't remember, but.
Well, happy birthday.
Thank you.
I'm sorry I missed it.
I could keep talking forever, but we have to wrap it up.
This was really, really fun.
It was fun. You had me talking about. I hope everyone really
don't judge Leah.
Don't judge me.
Don't judge
if you're struggling with addiction.
Reach out to somebody.
Reach out to someone.
If you're struggling with addiction, reach out to somebody.
Ask for help.
Anybody that you know that has struggled with addiction wants to hear from you. Do you like hearing from people who are fucked?
Of course.
There you go.
People hit me up all the time. I get amazing, like, the good thing about being on the show and like talking about, I wasn't really able to be fully honest about my alcoholism. No, I'm sorry.
On your show?
On Roni.
You were a little bit. I saw you talk about it.
It's not like I really got to like talk about the dark, you know what I mean? Because it's like a show. It's like a funny show.
It's not good for their brand because alcoholism is entrenched in their brand.
Exactly. So I wasn't able to really be like, but people that know. And a girl came up to me at a meeting once and was like, I saw you, and the fact that you were able to get sober made me get sober. And I was like, what that's fucking dope.
It is.
It's dopey.
It is. It is.
Okay, where can people find you?
Just wherever you get podcasts, check out Dopey.
Yes, and please subscribe to the Leah McSweeney Show on YouTube. Follow us at the Leah McSweeney Show on Instagram. And thanks for tuning in.
Thanks, Leah.